Good morning, friends. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I hope you're staying healthy and safe. Today, I want to talk just briefly about the white Jesus. As I'm sure you've heard in the news, the protesters moved from tearing down statues of Confederate historical people to tearing down statues of saints and even statues of Jesus, or breaking stained glass windows that depicted Jesus as a white man. And I've already had several people ask me what I think about that, so I wanted to share it with you. First of all, I think it's important for us to recognize that Jesus, as a historical person living 2,000 years ago, was clearly Middle Eastern. So he would not have been Caucasian with pale skin. He would have had very dark skin, much like someone from Palestine today or someone from the Middle East. Yet, cultures throughout the world for centuries have depicted Christ as one of their own. And so when I've gone to Mexico or Nicaragua to spend time, I have noticed that the statues of Jesus, especially Jesus upon the cross, their crucifix, depicted an indigenous Jesus, that their Jesus was not a Caucasian male. Their Jesus was very dark-skinned and looked Latino. I've noticed the same thing when I have visited Black Catholic churches, that their Jesus on the crucifix was African. He was black. We might find the same thing over in Europe. I think it's beautiful that we do that we enculturate Jesus Christ. To sidebar here, we do the same thing to Mary. So if you look at Mary having appeared to the Mexican people in Our Lady of Guadalupe, she appears as an indigenous woman of that time and place. We also have the Black Madonna. Mary has been depicted in that same way. I think it's beautiful. Let's get back to Jesus. I think it's beautiful that we enculturate Jesus Christ. And the reason for that is because Jesus is so much bigger and expansive than the historical person of Jesus 2,000 years ago. There is a sense of the Christ, including the body of Christ, all of us, as being much more expansive, covering every time and place, beginning with the very beginning of creation, when the Word, which is the second person of the Trinity, became incarnate in all of creation and continues to be today. So we don't want to pigeonhole Jesus into just a person who lived 2,000 years ago. He is the Christ, the eternal second person of the Trinity, and we, as his followers, as humans, are the body of Christ. And that includes every culture, every time, every place, every race. It's that expansive. And so when we can see Jesus Christ in a statue, in a crucifix, as an indigenous person of that particular time and place, it helps to remind us of that expansiveness of Christ. And so we would expect in a Polish church or in an Italian Catholic church to see a white Jesus. Now, there would be a radical problem if every depiction of the Christ was a white Caucasian male, a white Caucasian Jesus. That would be a problem. But that's not what we find in the Catholic Church, and it's not been my experience as I've traveled around the world and had an opportunity to see lots of different crucifixes within different cultures and among different races. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on people destroying white statues and depictions of Jesus? And what are your experiences of the various images of Christ throughout the world? I hope you have an awesome day.